assessment survey that I sent out, and people responded to and said that they needed more guidance on behavior management. So the slides presented. Oh, we went to the end.
You can also tap the screen too, it's a touch screen.
It's not working.
And then you say from current slide.
Yeah, it's not going.
Miss Kelly.
Okay, so students in poorly managed classrooms tend to spend more time off task and demonstrate lower academic achievement than students in effectively managed classrooms. And these slides show behavior management strategies that can be used immediately in the classroom, regardless of the age of the students or the tier of their special education needs. After reviewing child care rules and regulations on child guidance and management, I feel strongly that the strategies described in this presentation align with the rules and regulations. So some practical applications for behavior management are prevention strategies, instructional strategies, and reinforcement strategies. Here's a handout that includes some of these strategies. For your perusal. I'm going to email the slide, but the links do work within the PowerPoint presentation as well. So prevention strategies, you're going to want to incorporate choice, increase environmental predictability, schedule non-contingent attention, use pre-correction and high probability request sequence. Incorporating choice could include offering the student the option to write in pen or pencil or have their snack before or after their homework. You can increase environmental predictability through the use of visual timer or schedule. You could also consider taping off your interest areas so there's more defined space. Giving non-contingent attention is interesting. It's like based on the thought that students are typically seeking attention for their behaviors. And if you figure out that a student's like seeking attention every 15 minutes, then you would give attention every 10 minutes and try to decrease them having that need to seek attention. Pre-correction is like if you're lining up to go in the hallway, discussing the hallway behaviors, how to line up in the hallway and walk down the hallway before it's time to do those activities. High probability request sequence has the students complete tasks they are more likely to comply with, and then ask them to complete the task if they're less likely to comply with. For example, if a student comes in the building and throws their coat on the floor every day, you could ask them, hey, can you clap your hands, can you jump them down, can you pick up your coat? And then they might comply with that direction because they've been compliant to others. Some instructional strategies that can be used are opportunities to respond. This aligns with active engagement. When students and teachers are actively engaging together in an activity, they are more likely to exhibit on-task behaviors. Giving students opportunities to respond to topics and with materials keeps the students focused on the task. For example, if you're doing a read aloud, the students could use a dry erase board to draw an illustration and then share the drawing with the class or a peer. You can also have the students demonstrate understandings of topics covered or instructions with note cards. These are reinforcement strategies. You could use positive and negative reinforcement, mystery motivators, implementation, fidelity and data collection, behavior-specific praise, and the good behavior game. I meant to grab my mystery motivators, but I have them written on popsicle sticks. So if they like clean up within 5 minutes, I'll pull a mystery motivator, and it could be like sitting backwards in your chair, or howling like a wolf for a second, or some other like fun, quick activity they can do, and then move on with the day.
Kara, what's a negative reinforcement?
Like taking away something. And a positive would be like giving something. So like if they were engaging in a negative behavior with a toy, you could redirect them to another activity. So I thought for a moment we could share a time where you felt frustrated at a child's negative behavior and then think of a strategy that could help respond to that behavior. Does anybody have an example?
Say what you said again.
We could share like a time where you felt frustrated at a child's repeated negative behavior and then maybe find a strategy that we could use to help overcome that behavior.
We probably get millions.
Right. So transitions have effect of triggering some kids' behaviors because either they're not used to transitions or they don't want to transition. So finding different alternatives to transitioning, whether it be a song or clapping or something like that, to see what they grasp to better as far as transitions.
And then we also have conscious discipline, which is a behavior strategy that kind of has you look inward on yourself and then realize that behaviors are a learning opportunity, so teaching students through their behaviors instead of just penalizing them for having this behavior. There's a video we'll skip for now, but it just discusses Becky Bailey discussing her conscious discipline. And then here are some things that I thought we could move forward with. Maybe having a professional learning community to further study and research our newly implemented behavior learning strategies. We could focus on like what works and what doesn't work, and then hold each other accountable to like be trying to use the strategies.
Well, what do we do if none of those strategies work? Example with Christian. Like, what can we do? Like, every morning sometimes. We tried millions of different transitionings for him, and it just don't seem to work.
Depending on the situation, like using some of these consistently, I think Christian, with making sure that the environment's predictable for him and he knows what to do and what's expected of him during those times, or to give him like a calm down space where he can go and be
Anything
alone.
can trigger him.
Honestly, I believe that this environment is not for him. I feel like there's too many kids in a space for him. I feel like we don't have adequate resources for him. We should have a quiet spot for him, but we don't have that. So
He needs that one-on-one attention.
yeah, a smaller ratio, a smaller group would benefit him. Unfortunately.
And like these strategies don't make the behaviors go away, it just kind of decreases the chances of them occurring.
And sometimes that strategy
And
you
it
tried
could take
last week might
years.
work this week. It might not work next week though, just because of the type of kid he is.
Yeah. I think maybe more attention, like depending on how far, like the cycles maybe, and checking with him maybe every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, just making sure he's like on task and doing okay, and coming
It's
back
still
a few
touchy
minutes
with
later.
him though, because I
Yeah.
feel like checking in with him may be beneficial, but then sometimes you might check up on him and it might be disruptive to him
Yeah.
because he'll be so focused on something. So,
Yeah.
it's a touchy subject.
It is. Right, and then I thought about making a set of mystery motivators to take back to your classroom, and then any questions or comments, concerns?
I like the mystery motivator. I feel like I need a mystery motivator in my day.
Yeah.